We've been talking about how to teach close reading to your elementary students, and we're already halfway through our playlist. We've covered how to teach your students to annotate their close reading passages. We've talked about how to choose the best reading passages and also how to find them. And if you can't find them, how to write your own. We've talked about the importance of vocabulary development during close reading. And of course, along the way, I shared all the mistakes that I made when I was teaching close reading. There were a lot of them. Hang on, the cat. Cat. Maybe I need to slow down. Yeah. All those videos are in the playlist and you can go check them out and you can kind of binge watch all the close reading lessons, and that way you are going to be more confident teaching close reading to your younger students. Or if you're like me with a shrinking attention span, I do have shorter videos on TikTok because I'm a TikTok star. Just kidding, I'm horrible. But no, I do my best. I think it's pretty good.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
No, anywho. On TikTok, I do 2 quick tip videos a week, and it just might be something that you haven't thought of before, and it's just something real quick that you can watch. So you can follow me on TikTok if you want to see those. Another resource which might help you out is the free close reading guide. You can download it right here, or the link is in the description. And it is a free guide, and you can see what to teach on each day of a close reading week. And you'll have 2 weeks of lesson plans and reading passages to get started. Today we're going to talk about how to pull valuable meaning from the text. This is our chance to really work on comprehension and teach the text structure in the passages. You've introduced your text and you focused on vocabulary. Now what do you do? Here's where you're going to look at the text structure of the passage, and you're going to do that with comprehension activities that will take less than 15 minutes. If you recall from the video about choosing the best close reading passages, you're going to want to look for something that is just above their instructional level, and here's why. If it's too easy, you're going to run out of things to teach. Look for a reading passage that has something you're already teaching this week or something you'd like to review. Maybe you taught summarizing on a week where you only had 4 days. Or more realistically, maybe you were teaching summarizing and you had a week where you were interrupted all the time. You had all the office phone calls, off-task behavior, all the realistic things in your classroom, and you just really didn't get a chance to teach it the way you wanted to, because we've all been there. If you find a close reading passage that you can summarize really well, use that as review. It's your chance to make up that missed time where you didn't get a chance to teach summarizing. Teachers are like the best at being creative and doing spiral reviews, so this is a good chance to do that. During our close reading comprehension day, you're going to look deeper in the text. Think about it as not asking the what questions, like the surface questions. You're asking the why and the how questions, because the why and the how questions are going to lead to discussion, and a what question might be a one-word answer from your student. When you're choosing which questions to ask and what to jot down and what activities you're going to want to do, look at your passage and see what pops out at you. Go with your gut. What do you notice? Do you see anything that will confuse your students right away? Do you see a great example of inferencing in the text? Look for something that you can discuss with your students and make sure you note that down before you start teaching. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to reread the passage with your students. And at this point, you can ask for volunteers to either read along with you or silently. And again, it's okay if your struggling readers cannot read your reading passage word for word. That's not the goal. Today, our goal is comprehension and discussion, not decoding. As you're reading, make sure you annotate. If you notice something that your students are going to find complicated, then make sure that you notate that and do your teacher talk and modeling with that. If you need a refresher on how to annotate with your students, there's a video in this playlist with helpful tips that will help you teach your students to annotate, because you want to annotate effectively and not make a mess. So go check out that video. The annotation you're going to do today is notating something either that's confusing or that you have a question about. And just like anything else, like we said, model notating as you're reading your passage out loud to your students. Make a note of the part you'd like to discuss and say out loud, something like, I don't understand this part, and I'm going to make a little mark here, but I'm going to keep going because I want to come back to this part when we're done. Here's why that's important. You're teaching your students to not give up when they come to something that's hard. You're showing them to notice a tricky part, but not stop reading. You want to show them that they can keep going and then return to it, and that might help them figure out what they're missing. That way they'll see it's a good reading technique to acknowledge that they came to something they don't understand, make note of it, and then come back later to try to figure it out. When you're done reading, go back to that part you notated. Here's where you're going to want to have some questions and sentence starters prepared ahead of time. Remember, we're looking for how and why questions. So here are some examples. These are the questions that are going to help your students look deeper in the text and give you a discussion instead of a one-word answer. Some examples of a why question. Why did the author choose this sentence? Why did the character make that choice? For a nonfiction example, pull out facts from the passage and ask, why did this happen? Examples of how questions are, how do you know? How did the character figure out the solution to the problem? And again, for nonfiction, pull out a fact, say, how did this happen? When you're finished having your discussion, then it's time to do an activity. And these are quick activities that shouldn't take you very long. Examples of quick activities are to use an interactive notebook or a graphic organizer. Honestly, graphic organizers are my favorite. It's a really good way to look at that reading skill and analyze what's going on. And since we teach little kiddos, we can keep it simple. Graphic organizers can be as simple as taking a scrap piece of paper and folding it into 4 places, and you have your 4 quadrants for story elements. You can do characters, setting, problem, and solution. You can do a web, a circle in the middle with the main idea, and then branch out and do supporting details. So any graphic organizer you have, you can use it. You might want to vary your activities too, because as we well know, your most interactive lessons and activities will get pretty stale if you do it week after week. So make sure you're varying them. Maybe do an interactive notebook one time, maybe do a graphic organizer the next. But here's an opportunity to maybe add some more fun you probably haven't had time to do. So you could do a comic strip for sequencing, or have your students partner up and make some posters. Or if you have the energy, like let's say you drank all your coffee and you didn't leave it on your desk to get cold, you can do some interactive movements or songs that you can teach your students about the topic. Like if you have a reading passage with the life cycle of plants, you can have them curl up on a ball on the carpet as, and act out the seed, and you can pretend to sprinkle them with water and shine sunlight on them and have them act out how a plant would grow. Getting up and moving around is just as beneficial as doing something pencil and paper. Your students, especially your more not your students that aren't as confident, are going to learn just as much from doing a movement like that than if they did a graphic organizer on paper. And they'll probably remember it better too. And as always, build hype for the next day. You can say, okay, so this is what we did today. And guess what? Tomorrow, we're going to do this. Your attitude and your enthusiasm is going to be their enthusiasm. And after comprehension, it's interactive writing. And that's the next video in this series, so make sure you subscribe to this channel so you'll be able to see it. If this was helpful for you, I hope that you like this video. That way YouTube does its thing and shows it to other teachers who want to learn about close reading in their classrooms. Until then, make sure you check out my cheesy and yet still informative TikTok videos, and I'll see you next time.